All right. All right, sir. This is great. Thank you for joining me. So the last couple of years, I've gone to see quite a few of your movies in the theater. I find where they're showing. I went to see As Good as Dead, Outlaw Johnny Black, and about a month ago, I went to see Trouble Man.
Hmm.
The gigantic movies. You know, your company, Gigantic. I love what you're doing. Um, yeah, say something about how you cultivate a project that is around, centered around you, because you do it so perfectly. I love the when you make a movie that's all around you and your persona. You inject you into these movies very much.
Thank you. It's a blessing now that I'm able to do that. I, I, uh, I try to make the movies that I'd want to see myself. I have no interest in seeing what's been done over and over, or those formulaic movies that you can tell what's going to happen. So, you know, again, that's really what I want to do. Those things that excite me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I absolutely loved Outlaw Johnny Black. I went to that premiere you had at the Landmark in LA some years ago, and I went straight home and wrote you guys a great review because I just fell in love with that movie. I love that you got Jim Brown and Fred Williamson in there for one last little moment. I can't tell you how that made me feel. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of my favorite things. I mean, I had screenings, and I believe every screening I had, uh, you couldn't hear the dialogue of Fred Williamson and Jim Brown because people just got it and they applauded as soon as they saw them, and that meant a lot because they understood what paying homage really meant. And some people might know the depth of it. That I mean, they did a movie. They did several movies together, but one of which is a Western they did called "Take a Hard Ride."
Yep.
And some of those people might have noticed that I dressed them in the characters that they played, and there's a few people who might who recognize it, but it's a strong moment for me because not only was Jim Brown been one of my biggest heroes, and he was like a surrogate father to me. But they created their own dialogue. I didn't write those lines. And they said, Michael, we would like to say our own lines. And I was like, by all means. Um, and Jim Brown, who was like my biggest hero, he spoke the last line. And he said, the boy done good. He sure did. And that's the last movie Jim Brown did before he passed away. So that meant a great deal to me. And so yeah, yeah, that was I was completely blessed by that.
Yeah. How difficult and how long does it take to do a gigantic film? I mean, they're few and far between. It's like 2 3 years in between films. But each one you've done is kind of made its mark. I mean, like I said, I just saw Trouble Man, and it harkened back to the Robert Hooks kind of era. But say something about how long does it take you to get to the next one?
Well, some are faster than others. And when I did As Good as Dead, that was within a year from writing it and being on set. So that rarely happens. So and and then there's others that like for Trouble Man, that the first iteration of it was 20 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was rewritten and rewritten and rewritten until we I got a chance to do it.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
great. Yeah, I mean, in between these films that you've kind of cultivate, I mean, you in some of these Tubi originals, I saw Dead Zone and some of the other ones, but and you're starring in these films, and they're smaller, but you're also appearing in things like Exit Protocol, where I would call you seasoned support. You show up, you get a job done, and you support whoever's the star or whatever.
Right, right.
So when something like Exit Protocol comes your way, I'm sure it's, you get an email or a phone call or something. You're like, what makes you pull the trigger on it? Like, okay, I'll do this.
Well, it's simply this. I consider Dolph Lundgren a friend and a colleague. And so friendship means a great deal to me. So it's as simple as that. I mean, I'd help him move if he needed me.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
cool. Yeah. I mean, you guys go back to Universal Soldier. I know you had a bit part in that. And of course, Skin Trade was, I that's the last time I interviewed you guys. And
Mhm.
I really liked Skin Trade a lot. There was a lot going on in that movie. It was more complex. It's
Yeah.
like Exit Protocol, where you show up, you do some scenes and you're out.
Yeah.
What's the appeal other than just hanging out with Dolph for a couple days? Is there anything else?
No, it's that. I'm very loyal, and I support my friends, and if they need me, I mean, it's that's what it is.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, all these years that you've known Dolph, I mean, he's gone through a lot the last few years, cancer and
Oh yeah.
hip replacement, whatever. But I mean, so what's the evolution between you guys? How do you catch up? How do you kind of challenge each other on a film such as this or Skin Trade? Skin Trade, there was a lot more going on though.
It's. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with Dolph. We're adversarial in the movie, so it's not a whole lot to work out. It's pretty clear. Um, Again, I'm there to support. I'm there for maybe 2 days
Yeah.
of film of shooting time. So it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Mhm.
But any catching up in between times that you do a film together or you see each other? Like, what does that look like when Dolph and Michael Jai hang out for a couple days?
Yeah, it's well, nowadays you have a short amount of time to shoot a movie,
Yeah.
right? So it's not a lot of hanging out like it was in the old days where you're kind of paid for waiting.
Yeah.
Now you're just paid for being prepared because there's not much waiting.
Hmm.
And so the conversations happen on set in the makeup room and what have you, and just in those fleeting moments that you're getting ready for something else. So it's not a lot of breaking bread or what have you, because then even when you go to sleep, when you're eating, whatever you eat, go to sleep, and you get back on set. So it's not a whole lot of time. Yeah.
Now I know gun protocol is different and in movies, and the tragic events from a few years ago with Rust or whatever. I mean, when you're picking up these guns now, it's not. I would imagine it's different. Even the props themselves, the squibs themselves. How has that changed in the last few years for you?
It hasn't changed very much for me. It's always been a protocol thing. It's gotten a bit more. I mean, it's a lot more careful.
Yeah.
But for me, I've been handling guns, and I do a lot of tactical training myself, and so I'm I'm very careful myself. It's just ingrained in me that I treat every gun as if it was loaded. And so, I mean, so yeah, I can't turn off my instinct to make sure be a second or third line of defense for others as well. So, I've always been careful in that regard, but seldom is anyone doing squib work anymore.
Right. It's all digital.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing you don't have to worry about.
Cool.
Mhm.
Um,
A lot of times I don't really have to pull the trigger.
okay.
Yeah,
You just kind of simulate a movement or something.
and certainly. Yeah.
Now your name, I'm sure you've been asked this a few times already, but Isaac Florentine, of course, I love Isaac and I love his movies. Isaac's a great guy in the business. Whose idea was it to name your character Isaac Florentine?
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my name, the character's name was Isaac, and I said, "How about Isaac Florentine?" I always like Isaac's name, so I told him, I said, "Hey, guess what? My character's name is Isaac Florentine," and he laughed about it. So I just thought it was a cool name. He's got a cool name, and I used it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys need to work together again. It's been a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I what was the last one? Undisputed too?
It was the only one.
Yeah, the only time.
Yeah,
Dude, you
yeah,
guys got to do something else together, man.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind. I tried to get him to direct Blood and Bone, but it didn't it didn't intrigue him.
Oh, really? Dang, that's your best movie, dude.
Well, tell Isaac.
That is your best movie. I keep hoping that someday we're going to get a sequel to that. I kind of felt like Your Never Back Down's kind of touched on that, or even As Good as Dead. That As Good as Dead felt a little bit like Never Back Down, the next one. Um,
Hmm.
it shared DNA, you know. I love it when you do those movies, man. I want more of those.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, exit protocols. So, anything else you want to say about this one? I mean, this just came out a few days ago. It's out there. What would you like to say about the film? About working with Scott Martin, Shane Dax Taylor?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I've been on the road, so yeah. So I can't say nothing about something I haven't seen yet. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So this I've been on the go for a while now, but I'll get a chance to see it in the next couple of days.
All right. Is there anything you want to say to your fans, Michael?
Well, I just thank my fans for supporting me and let them know that there's some really cool stuff coming up.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you, sir. You rock.
Thank you. Thank you.